It's past midnight. Meera Jensen sits on her kitchen floor, out of baby formula and out of options. She types a desperate message asking her brother to borrow $50 and hits send. But she misses a single digit in the phone number. Jackson Albright responds to the mistake by asking if her son is safe, followed by an immediate $5,000 transfer. Meera, guarding her pride even while broke, pushes back, telling him the amount is far more than she needed. Jackson is the billionaire CEO of Helix Core, yet he is isolated at the top of his empire. He is surrounded by executives he suspects of siphoning money, but because the theft is so well hidden, he has no one inside his inner circle he can trust to investigate. Intrigued by Meera's honesty, Jackson learns she has a background in forensic accounting and biochemical research. She is a total outsider with zero corporate allegiances. He offers her a 3-month temporary job to audit his company's back-end billing records. Arriving on the 37th floor, Meera is handed full access to the internal network. The challenge is the software itself. Helix Core's automated compliance algorithms report 0 missing funds and 0 errors, presenting a facade of perfect financial health. A multi-billion-dollar algorithm can only find mathematical discrepancies. Meera, having survived on nothing, looks for the human deception hiding inside the data. She is the only person equipped to see the subtle anomalies that the software was programmed to ignore. Meera bypasses the top-line summaries and digs directly into the massive datasets of the third-quarter financial records. She begins manually cross-referencing individual vendor payouts against verified project activity. This chart shows the distribution of outgoing invoices over the fiscal quarter. By mapping the data, Meera spots a pattern. One obscure vendor named Trinox Solutions appears repeatedly across entirely unrelated department budgets. The amounts extracted are perfectly calibrated. They process at $1,200 here, $2,400 there, always keeping the transaction size just beneath the company's automated internal audit triggers. Meera runs the tax ID and traces the payments to a mailbox drop in Delaware. Trinox Solutions has no employees and no physical office. It is a shell company, operating as a legal blind to obscure the recipient of the funds. To find out who built the pipeline, Meera pivots her search. She takes every shell company payment and cross-checks it against the specific employee login IDs that authorize the transfer. This diagram illustrates the flaw in the approvals. The login profiles belong to dozens of different lower-level managers, but the authorizations all originate from the exact same physical machine. This is a tactic known as using ghost credentials, where someone hijacks legitimate user accounts to sign off on fake invoices. Meera isolates the device ID and tracks it to the top of the finance department. The digital footprint points directly to Vincent Harmon, Helix Core's chief financial officer. The CFO bypassed the company's massive security infrastructure by exploiting how the algorithm functioned. The software verified that a password matched a username, but it never verified the identity of the person operating the computer. The power dynamic shifts once Vincent discovers the audit. During a closed-door meeting, he threatens to leak doctored financial data that would frame Jackson for the embezzlement unless Jackson resigns by Friday. Jackson recognizes that Vincent has already compromised members of the board. He moves Meera and her son to a secure off-the-books safe house to ensure both her safety and the integrity of the evidence they've gathered. Working with an external forensic accountant, Meera drafts this document. It is a fake HR memo announcing an impending review of all executive vendor contracts, planted deep within a restricted internal system. They monitor the system and wait. Within hours, Vincent accesses the file using his personal login, creating an undeniable, time-stamped digital footprint that confirms his involvement in the vendor scheme. Identifying financial patterns was only the first step. By forcing the CFO to act out of paranoia, Meera converted theoretical audit logs into concrete, prosecutable evidence of his guilt. Jackson and Meera confront Vincent. Jackson reveals the time-stamped network breaches, telling his CFO that his mistake was thinking his position make him untouchable. The fallout is immediate. Vincent is ousted by a unanimous board vote, and the 38-page forensic dossier Meera compiled is handed over to federal agents. Meera's role at Helix Core becomes permanent. She transitions from a desperate temp worker to the company's newly appointed director of internal audit. This diagram shows the new compliance framework Meera builds. It is a decentralized, triple-audited system that makes it impossible for any single executive to bypass financial controls without leaving a permanent trail. Through the shared pressure of the investigation and the nursery Jackson built for Noah, their professional alliance evolves. They find a rare trust in one another, forming a permanent personal partnership built on mutual respect. Real corporate security relies on incorruptible human intuition rather than flawed automated algorithms. This same intuition allowed Jackson to see Meera's potential, proving that the most valuable connections are the ones that begin with earned trust.